Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna give you my look at Nezha 2. Alright, so I think at this point we have all heard about the phenomenon that is Nezha 2 in movie theaters right now. It's a Chinese movie that came out in China, I think on the 7th of February and or the 7th of March, and in the few weeks it had been released, it already grossed over $2 billion in the box office. And now it has been releasing worldwide because this is just a phenomenon of a movie you have to see. It broke all kinds of records, is the biggest animated movie ever. It's probably gonna be in the top 4 or top 3 biggest movies ever. It's already in the top 5, so I have to say, when I heard everything about this movie and all the buzz coming in, I really needed to see it. But I wasn't going to go to China anytime soon, and if I went to China, I wouldn't understand the word of it. So I had to wait until they released it in Belgium and the Netherlands, and finally they did. They released it as an event, so it has only been here for a few days. I was luckily able to catch the premiere night in IMAX, which is by far the way you should watch this movie, because IMAX makes this movie so much better, because it's just that great of a movie. The scores were raving, the reviews were raving, and I think the raving reviews are mainly because of its release. It released right in the moment where not a lot of movies came out, and the movies that do came out are Snow White, if you know what I mean. So I think there is a big luck for this movie being better and better and better, but on all other fronts, I have to say this movie truly beat Disney and beat Hollywood, not only on a box office level, but on so much more. Because if we have to talk about all the great things of this movie, the animation surely has to come up to terms, because holy fucking shit, this movie was insanely well animated. I think I have cried about my disdain and my dislike for movies nowadays, for animated movies, because Disney always had the 2D animation, then they created this 3D CGI computer animation, and I have to say I liked it in the beginning, and it truly is still good, but then all studios adapted the same kind of animation, and animated movies didn't feel like something special anymore. That's why a movie like Into the Spider-Verse was such a relief to have, and even Princess and the Frog in 2009 was such a relief to have, because it was different and it felt nostalgic and it felt nice and it felt new. This movie, Nezha 2, is basically the same kind of 2D computer animation, but done in such a way that you truly have to love everything about it. I don't think I've ever seen this smooth of an animation, of an animated value in a movie like this before. It truly looks mesmerizing, especially in IMAX where the quality is that much bigger. There is this final battle sequence, and if people will upload the battle sequence to YouTube in a few months or weeks or years, I think no one that is ever going to watch this video has YouTube Premium with the upgraded bitrate for 1080p, so I don't think those videos will be watchable. There's so much going on, and it's so beautifully animated in the final battle sequence. It's truly a sight to see, and even if you don't like the story or if you don't like anything about this movie, then that animation is something you will rave about. It's so incredibly good. It's incredibly beautiful. It's one of the most beautifully animated movies I've seen in my entire life, and that comes from a studio that is not Pixar, is not Disney, is not DreamWorks, and is not just a big name. It's just a lot of animators, I think around 4,000 animators in China, trying to make the best they could and the best they made, because holy shit. When I watched the first Nezha a few days ago, I wasn't completely sold on the story yet. I thought like, okay, this is nice. The animation looks beautiful already for 2019, which is such a weird thing to say because 2019 was just 6 years ago, right 1 year before COVID. So we're all old in here. We're all. No, but yeah, well, the animation already was good, but the story wasn't really my cup of tea. There were some things that I didn't like. There were some things that I thought like, ah, well, okay, it's fine. It's nice to see. This movie ups it a lot. The movie starts and it has this grand, bombastic Nezha 2 intro, and the movie itself knows that, guys, you're in for an adventure, you're in for a treat, you're in for a fucking ride, and a ride it was. A lot of things in this movie that were truly epic and truly great. The movie, with times, is genuinely really funny. I sat in a jam-packed movie theater. I was the only Belgian dude in there, and everyone else were people from Holland and people from Belgium with Chinese origins in there, which was truly epic because, well, oh hi, which was truly epic because, yeah, my cat is coming, because then I could have experienced the movie with the people that it was made for, which was awesome, and they all loved it. And with every funny thing that happened on screen, they all genuinely laughed their asses off, which made it all the better for me. And with all the scary things or the sad things, they were all sniffing for a second. And when the tension started to build, they all really just went to the front, so I couldn't read my subtitles anymore because they were that into the movie. And that was truly a sight to see, and might be one of my favorite movie experiences I have ever had in my entire life. I genuinely don't like jam-packed movie theaters anymore because the movie theater etiquette is gone, sorry. But for this movie, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Apart from the guy in front of me that kept sitting in front of my subtitles, so I still had to look like, oh, that's what they were saying. Yeah, because I did watch it in the original language. I think that's important. When I first put on the first one, it started in English, and I was like, no, I can't have this. It has to be Mandarin. And Mandarin it was, and it truly makes the movie better. So yeah, the story, it's great in this one, and it hits all the right tones. It's epic, it's beautifully animated, but mostly that final battle sequence and that final fight and that final hour of this movie is so full of emotions and so full of everything that you want from it to make it epic, grand scale, and make you sit in the movie theater like, which I caught myself doing multiple times. Nezha 2 is a sight to see. Nezha 2 is well deserving of a full, complete 5 stars and a heart. It's truly amazing. So in the end, Nezha 2 absolutely beat the shit out of Hollywood, not only on a box office level, but also on a story and animated level. This movie is truly epic, and you should see it in a movie theater if you have the chance to do so. It's absolutely epic. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Please let me know in the comments down below because I'm really excited to hear your opinions on it. I want to thank you for watching. Bye bye.